If you would like to learn how to decode Tolkien's Elvish written Tengwar alphabet, stick around, I'm going to help you learn how to do this. Hey there, my name is Chris, I am your resident elf boy, and I just started an Elvish letter subscription service where I write letters in Elvish calligraphy and send them to people's mailboxes so you guys can learn how to decode them. But you might need a little help with that. That's what this video is for. While I am making this video for people who just received letters from me, and I will be using one of said letters as an example, anybody can learn how to do this, and all of the resources that I'm going to show here are absolutely free. I made them myself, and they're only a couple taps away on a public post in my Gatreon. But without further ado, let's go through the contents of this month's letter, where to find my resources, and how to use them. The contents of this month's letter are pretty straightforward. There's the letter itself, a musical insert that I crafted for you all, and the cover page. Cover page is very important because it has this QR code on it. The code will bring you here, and this link right here says Free Guides, Writing English in Tolkien's Tengwar. That's what you want to tap. That will take you here where you can download my guides. Now, I will openly admit that the main file, the guide that I wrote, is a pretty lengthy document, but try not to be intimidated. While it does go through all of the main information that you do need to learn, most of the pages are gonna look like this, with a ton of different examples of every single letter. I am nothing if not thorough. Seriously though, over half the document is just charts like that, so it's there for reference. You don't have to read it all. I can hear some people already. Look, Chris, I got shit to do. I don't have time to read that giant document. That's cool. That's totally cool. I 100% understand. That's why there is a second downloadable that is my cheat charts. This is 2 pages front and back, very easy to print out or reference on your phone, and this is what you'll want to use to cross-reference as you decode. This is the easy way to do things, and you can save the details for when you've got time later. The chart shows you a given Tengwa, which is a character in the Tengwar alphabet, along with its IPA, or International Phonetic Alphabet, assignment, which is the sound that it makes, and then what it would be written like with Latin letters. Then there are examples, like F is used in flat or decaf. Some characters, like this one, are full words. This one character means of the. There are also charts for the 2 different numbering systems. This is the one that I prefer to use in my letters. It is a base 12 duodecimal system that Christopher Tolkien gave us. And the final cheat sheet is a quick reference that goes through the Latin alphabet, A through Z, and with some of the vowels. Now I'm going to go over the organization of all of these characters on the page. So what you will be looking at in a word from English that is written in Tengwar and how to parse through it from there. When you look at a simple word written in Tengwar on a page, you're going to see something like this. The main characters here are going to be your consonants, and then the vast majority of your vowels are going to be what are called diacritics, or accent marks. The triple dot here is the vowel A. So here we've got C, or K. It's anything that makes the K sound. Here we have T, and the A is over top the T. So the organization is consonant, vowel, consonant. C-A-T. This is the word cat. However, not all diacritics are going to be vowels. There are a few exceptions, and I'll cover a couple of them right now with this second example. This is how you spell the word quitter in Tengwar. Now, the reason I chose this word is because it mimics the characters up here for cat, but it uses them in a different way. So if we look over at our handy-dandy cheat sheet, we'll see that KW is the same thing as QU, and it looks like that. So it is the K consonant with this little squiggle diacritic over top of it. So that squiggle is a W, and that's how we get KW, which what we would spell in the Latin alphabet would be QU. We then have the single dot for our vowel I, and then we have the same character for T that we saw up in cat. Same thing, but it's got an extra little bar here. That bar is what's called the doubling theta, and that doubles the character it is attached to. Looking over at our reference sheet, it looks like this. The little dotted circle can represent any character. So the doubler theta is usually underneath, but the important thing is that it is attached to what is called the stem of some character. So it can be over top at times as well. In our case, this is the letter T, and the doubler is attached to the stem of the T. So that gives us QU, or KW, I, T, second T. The slash here is the E diacritic for the vowel E, and then this last Tengwa is R. So that is how you spell quitter in Tengwar. I know that's a little confusing, but hopefully it made sense. This guide is turning out a little longer than I expected, so quick mental health check-in. How are you doing right now? You feeling okay? Are you a little overwhelmed? Hopefully all of this is making sense. If you need to, take a break right now. This is a good pausing point. Grab some water, hydrate, take a bio break, do what you gotta do. But once you're ready, come on back, because we're going to now look at the actual letter that I sent out this month, and we're gonna go through the first sentence together. This will give you a lot of examples, and it'll show you how I go back and forth between my reference documents and the letters when I'm decoding them. This will take a couple minutes, so sincerely, if you need a break, pause, come back. I'll still be here. To decode Tengwar, you will need the following. 1, if you can manage to print out my guides, like the cheat sheets at least, do that. It'll be really easy to reference it. You've got your letter. You've got a blank piece of paper or a notebook in my case, and a pen or writing utensil. If you want to use pencil and be cautious, that is up to you. But let's look at this opening line of our letter. The way I personally tackle things is I will look at the main characters first, because those are typically consonants. I will write all of those out first, and then I'll write the vowels over top of them, so that we know the organization of the letters. But it's very easy to just go character by character to make your way through the consonants of a sentence, and then add the vowels afterwards. You can go word by word, or in this case, I'm just going to do the entire sentence for us. So again, what I'm going to do is go through the main characters here, and then we'll go back and look at all of these symbols, all of these diacritics that are on top of the characters. This first swoop here looks like this character, so that is an S. So we'll just write down S. Then looking back and forth, our next character, this one right here, looks like this. So that is a soft C, which also sounds like an S, but the character is different. So that's going to spell out C. As you go along, you will eventually get a feel for which characters are which, and you won't have to reference this sheet nearly as much. So I am able to speed through this a lot faster than a lot of people would be able to. That little symbol there is a carrier, so we know that it's just going to have a vowel on top of it. And then Z. So, just for these two words, this is what we've got to work with. Now, this looks like gibberish. Let's go back through and add all of the vowels from the diacritics. I changed my pen color to red for this, so it'll be easy to see. The single dot is an I, and then we have this tilde over top, which is a nasalizing one, so that's going to be an N. We have an E, so E over top R, and E over top the S. Now, just spelling this out, we've got S-I-N-C-E-R-E-S-T. This spells sincerest. Now, that looks a little bit strange, but that's how this all works. We've got S-I-N-C-E-R-E-S-T. That's how we're going to then construct the other words. For the next word, we will start with an A over top of the P. We've got O, O. Over the carrier, we have an I, and then over top the Z, we have an E. So this is how you spell apologies. So sincerest apologies. I sped up these other couple clips just to save some time, but we have A-R-E, I over N, and then O-R-D-E-R. So that spells R in order. So the first line here reads, sincerest apologies are in order. That's the first line of the letter. I sincerely hope that this guide has been helpful. Please definitely check out my Patreon if you want to receive Elvish letters in the mail, and otherwise, stick around for more Elvish content in general. It's what I do.